Hey guys, welcome to a new series of videos. In this series, we're going to be talking about marriage, love, relationships, the good stuff, the hard stuff, the really hard stuff, the real stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Apparently, it's going to be called Stuff with the Reynolds.
It's going to be called Let's Talk About Stuff. But before we get started, we want to introduce you to our new setup, our new recording space. This has been like months in progress. And we're like, we got to get the paint right. It has to have the right vibe. We did a poll on Instagram and you guys chose not this paint. We decided to go with the other option that you guys didn't really vote on because it's so dark and gives this moody vibe. Anyway.
So thanks for voting.
So thanks for your input. We do appreciate it. But if you guys want to know where we got this paint, we got it from Safeco. We have been using this brand of paint for like the last 8 years. Since I was pregnant with my son Josh, we were all freaking out about chemicals and toxins, and they basically have zero toxicity, zero chemicals that can hurt you.
It's super durable.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing also. We would put it in the kids' rooms and they're hitting it, putting their fingers on it, drawing on
boogers.
It easily wipes
doesn't
off.
chip.
It lasts forever.
Yes,
it's super
it's
durable.
insane.
It's
So,
amazing paint.
Look at this. I'm like so in love. We're talking too much about paint. So let's get to the series.
Why are you looking so hot?
I don't know. I'm looking hot. Because I've got to wear this hot red jumpsuit. Ah! Don't touch my eyebrows.
We'll be back in a minute.
No! All right, we're back.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. All right, so I asked for you guys to send me your questions, your deep, dark questions out on Instagram. You guys sent some really good ones. Stuff that I'm like, dang, I wish I would have asked these 10 years ago.
Would it have changed things?
Let's just start with this one. Have you ever felt jealous or afraid of your husband committing adultery?
Let's just shoot right out the gate here. Let's just start off strong.
The reason why I'm laughing so hard
that's true.
is because the answer is yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh.
Before we even got married or even engaged, your mom was more afraid of me committing adultery than you were.
I forgot about that. We were getting serious, and my mom sends me this email saying, you know, how do you know that CJ's not gonna just like cheat on you or leave you? But it had to do with like a devotional. She sent me like a women's devotional.
That's what that was?
Yeah. I think she sent me like she forwarded me like this women's devotional saying like, talking about like men getting to pornography and then like leaving their wives or something like that. How is that a devotional? That's really depressing. So just to give a little backstory, before I started dating CJ, I had lived a crazy life of lots of boyfriends, lots of partying, lots of sleeping around and like hooking up. I was all up in that lifestyle. I'd cheat on my boyfriend, he'd cheat on me, and I'd want to kill him. Then I'd leave him, and then I'd like go to another guy, and the same thing would happen. It was like this horrible cycle. It was just so much unhealthy stuff. Mm-hmm. There I go with that word, stuff again. I need to read more. I need to widen my vocabulary. Yeah. So to answer that question, was I ever afraid of CJ like cheating on me or committing adultery? Heck yes. Totally.
She was crazy.
I was psychotic.
Crazy.
You should tell him from your perspective because you were on the receiving end. I was just in like this jealous rage all the time. I probably was not even cognitive.
I couldn't like talk to any girl without her freaking out. If she saw me talking to any girl, she would come over, button the way, be like, I'm CJ's girlfriend. Who are you?
No, I'd literally be like, who are you? Like, boo. I'm Christina. Who are you?
And then I'd have to remind her that was a guy that I was talking to. He just had long hair. She saw him from behind and thought, that's a woman over there.
No, for real.
It was that bad. Like, even if she thought that it was a girl.
Even if he was talking to any girl, it didn't matter. She could have been a grandma.
She could be 75 years old, and she would still be like, and who are you?
Excuse
That's
you.
my man.
Who are you? I was so crazy. If you have not watched our other video called Our Not So Typical Love Story, you can watch it here. But in that video, I talk about the first month of us dating, and I was basically like, I'm not into you, you're not cute, I'm not attracted to you. But once I was attracted to him, that's when the jealousy started spinning.
You weren't jealous the first month because you didn't like me.
No, because I didn't even like you. I was just like, I like hanging out with you, but I don't think you're that cute and I'm not that into you. But once I got into him, it was like, bing, I turned into psycho woman.
Yeah, I worked so hard to get you to like me, and then once I got you to like me,
you
I was
couldn't
like,
get
you're
away
crazy.
from me.
I was like, you're psycho.
I was psycho. So here's a really big thing that I realized later was that I was not only was I jealous of other women, but I was jealous of his time. So he was basically leading a whole group of young adults, you know, helping them lead them to Jesus, like love Jesus more and stuff, like all this good stuff. And I was over here like, another meeting? Oh my gosh, more time, more one-on-one time with these people. Can't they just get it together? So as you can see, I'm painting a really horrible picture of myself, but this is actually pretty true to scale.
It was a pretty true picture.
It was a pretty true picture. But I realized that a lot of my growing up in ministry and having my dad be a pastor and kind of seeing a lot of the times also in other families who are in ministry, seeing male figures put ministry over their families and over their wives and over their children, that really, I had like a real problem with that.
Yep.
That like really affected me growing up. So being in a relationship with a guy who is clearly really good in leadership, like he has a lot of strengths and talents in that arena and he's able to benefit a lot of people in that way, it kind of freaked me out. Because to me, I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe...
I could just get drawn away.
Yeah, that you could get drawn away or that, like, someone else's problems, like, he'll be ready to go save someone else and then leave me or something like that. Whoa, we just got deep.
No, but that's exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was freaked out. But the expression of it and my reaction was super immature and kind of psychotic. Yeah.
Well, it was based in your own truth and your own reality that you had seen previously, though.
Yeah.
Because of your past with the boys, because of your past with ministry and just in general seeing like the negative side effects, like that's what you were clinging to and that's what you were expecting out of me. Yeah. So that was like the big thing that I had to kind of help her overcome or even to change my own life to make sure that I was putting and showing her that I was putting her first. There would be many days that I was spending most of my time not only with her, helping her, serving her, taking care of her, giving everything to her, and then I would go off, that one time for like 2 hours. You'd be like, "You're putting everybody before me."
Was it really that bad?
Yeah,
it was bad.
And there's the aspect that I had to be a man that put her first, but then I had to help her see that, and you had to begin to realize that and change your own thinking. So again, it's that two-way street.
CJ is probably one of the most committed people, not even just to a woman, but in general with everything. Like when you believe in something or you love something or someone, like nothing gets in the way, no matter how much they treat you like crap.
That's
Unfortunately, that can be a con.
Yeah,
as well.
We had a lot of problems with that too.
You're overly committed.
Yeah.
But in a good way for me, thank God. Because I'm like,
but for me, it's
I'm
great.
super crazy, so like it worked out in my favor. How about you though? You were never really.
No, I was just super confident because you can look at her history and think, why would I want to even jump in to deal with all those issues?
You were not even thinking about my issues.
No, I was.
Okay.
But the one thing that gave me a lot of confidence is I was like, dude, I am better than any man that you've ever been with. And I will prove that I'm better than any of them. So there was one time that there was clearly, we were hanging out with a bunch of people out on a retreat, out on like a weekend deal. And there was a guy that was clearly like pursuing her, like into her.
Not pursuing me.
Oh, he was.
No,
in his back. Yes, he was. Absolutely. You just were oblivious to it because, but he was clearly after you. And that was the one time I got heated. I was like, this guy is coming after you. I was like, stop hanging out with him. Stop giving him time. And then she got all excited. She's like, oh my gosh, you're jealous of me.
It's because he's never jealous. And sometimes a girl just wants to feel like your man is a little bit like jealous. It's just cute. You're like, aw.
No, because it shows cute. Jealousy does show value.
It does.
Absolutely. Like you need to be jealous at times.
But not crazy jealous. Controlling jealous, like how I was, is unhealthy.
Well, there's jealousy out of fear, and then there's jealousy out of love, and those are two different aspects.
Whoa, mic drop.
I know, right? Because
there is psycho jealousy where you're just like, you're controlling and you're being possessive. And
that's fully based out of fear. And don't get me wrong, if you don't fully know somebody, that's why you end up having that jealousy or that fear aspect, because you have to get to know them and see if they're going to be committed, and you can never fully get away from the fact that you have to trust somebody. However, there's a jealousy out of love that just goes, no, this person's mine and I want to fight for them. It's a different spin off it because it's based out of love and care for the person, as opposed to it's all about me and fearfulness.
Yeah. So for the first year was really bad. After I got pregnant, he really took a step back to support me in worship leading, so that I could go after worship leading, so that we would have childcare, because we didn't have childcare, so that he could watch our son. He really believed in me and believed that I was supposed to be worship leading and having my own team and making music. All of that. So life changed a lot. So I think that really helped me to not be jealous, I guess. Yeah, because now you were just serving
No, I was just 100% serving her. So she's like, okay, now everything's good. It's all about me, Here's the thing: when you commit to marriage, and I didn't realize this on the front end, but I was committing to win your heart, and not just even for myself, but for the Lord, and to help you grow. I was partnering with the Lord to develop you and my family, like that. They become first in your life, and they become primary, and so. If that's what it took to get through all of the past history that she had to get through, then I had to commit to that. And that was my primary job, was to fight for that. And so I was willing to take the step back, fight for your gifting, but to also help you work through all of those fear issues and going, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm here for you, and we're going to figure this thing out together. And so I committed to you. And I think that when you go into marriage, you got to realize that that's what you're committing to. You're not just committing to the other person just to serve you, but you're committing to fight for the other person's destiny, their giftings, their strengths, and all of that.
Yeah. We talk about this with other couples, that in that first year, you haven't really solidified how much you love each other yet.
Oh, no.
I've chosen to be with this guy, but all of a sudden now all these guys are popping up. Ooh, that guy's cute. But same for him. I wasn't his picture perfect, ideal woman.
No.
So there were, there'd be a pretty girl and you're like, oh, she's pretty, or
Well, you got to remember, before you get married, the depth of your love, it really does originate in the attractive side. And that's okay, it's fine, it's good. You want to be attracted.
Yeah.
But you don't really get to go beyond that until you're committing to say, okay, I'm not just going to go after the next pretty person.
Yeah.
But I'm working on something deeper.
Yeah.
And that takes some time.
It does take time.
You're overcoming an old way of thinking and moving into a more mature way of love. And that takes moving past just the attractiveness and getting to the place to where now we can look at people and we'll tell each other, wow, that person's super beautiful. You can admire beauty without it being a draw towards sexual pursuit. Let's just it's just called what it is. Instead of it becoming something that goes, oh, I want to be with that person, you're able to admire beauty and just for what it is, that God made somebody beautiful, and that's an awesome thing. But be committed and go, no, but this is the person I love. This is different. This isn't an attraction. I'm attracted on a deeper level of love, but that takes time. You're going to have those temptations in the beginning, and you just have to realize it's going to be there. And it's going to have to be something that you overcome if you're going to solidify love inside your marriage.
Totally.
It wasn't until that happened between us that the jealousy really, until the more you began to trust me and you realized that you could trust me.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this first kick-off episode of whatever this series is going to be called. If you have any ideas for what this should be called, comment below. We'd love to hear your ideas. Also, send us your questions, because we love hearing your questions, and this is what this series is going to be about, is answering your questions and vibing off of your topics and all that stuff. So we want to hear from you. Comment below. We want to hear it. Share it with your friends. Like this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.